Hey guys, it's Kirsti. Welcome back to another week of Segue Magic. First things first, a small announcement. As Mari mentioned last week, we are going to be changing how Segue Magic works from December onwards. Basically, we decided that weekly topics was far too many, both for everybody to come up with answers for and for us to actually come up with the topics, so we are going to be switching to monthly themes, which will be a lot broader, and you will have like the whole month to answer the question rather than just, that 1 week. I'm sure Mari will explain it all a lot better, in her video, but yeah, that's kind of what we're gonna do from this point on. But for now, let's get back to this week's question. This week, in honor of Thanksgiving in the US, we are talking about media that we are thankful for or that had a big impact on our lives at a particular point. I don't want to talk about like the Harry Potter and Pride and Prejudice and Anne of Green Gables really obvious kind of stuff. I want to talk about some of the stuff that I talk about less frequently. In chronological order in which I consumed the piece of media, I guess. The first one I want to talk about is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. This book gave me my love of classic literature, and for that I will be eternally grateful. Guards by Terry Pratchett. This is the first book I ever read in the Discworld series, and it basically blew my mind, and I have loved the Discworld and Pratchett's writing ever since. This book obviously has a special place in my heart for being that first book, and I love it a little bit more every time I read it. The first episode of Buffy that I ever saw was like a random one during season 3 when I was in high school, but the first one that I actually watched like intentionally was the season finale for season 5, and I was completely hooked. So I watched seasons 6 and 7 as they aired, and I didn't go back and watch the early episodes until 2004 when I was writing my honours thesis. I had to write my thesis in like a month because I just planned everything stupidly and it took me way longer to gather all my data than I thought it would. This is a total segue on Segue Magic. Basically, the only way that I actually got through my honours thesis was the fact that a friend who was also doing her honours thesis in the same department lent me like season 1 through season 5 on DVD, and I worked out this system where like if I wrote 200 or 300 words of my thesis, I would reward myself with an episode of Buffy, and that was basically how I broke up my days over that month. Was, okay self, get to the end of this section and you can go watch more Buffy. So Buffy got me through my honours thesis and got me first class honours, and for that I am incredibly thankful. Another thing that got me through my honours year in 2004 is the BBC adaptation of North and South. I had like no exposure to this story before it started airing on ABC TV here on Sunday nights. I saw the first 2 episodes and immediately went out and bought this on DVD because I couldn't wait 2 more weeks to find out how the series was going to end. I had to know like immediately. And I think I love this BBC adaptation more than I love the 1995 version of Pride and Prejudice starring Colin Firth. So that is saying something. This is just, it is so fucking good. And to this day, 11 years later, if I have a completely shitty day for whatever reason, my go-to fix-it thing is the 4th episode of this because it is just perfection. And finally, Marvel's Agent Carter. I think it just hit at exactly the right time when I was struggle bussing through like the tail end of 2 years of unemployment, and I was just over everything, and then Peggy Carter came into my life and was just like, fuck you, I know my value, I know I can do this. And yeah, channeling Peggy Carter is kind of sort of how I got a job. Don't forget to make your own video or blog post on the topic. Post it on Saturday using the hashtag SegwayMagic on Twitter and Tumblr. We will find it and put it into a roundup post. Mari, I can't wait to see all the things that you are thankful for. Happy Thanksgiving if you are in the US, guys. I love all your faces, and I will see you next week. Bye.